This is part of the beginners astrology section of the videos. You know, we know about our signs. We know about our sun signs. We know that there's 12 signs. But you know, like who's gonna remember all of them, and how do we sort them out in a way that makes some sense? The trick that I came up with for myself is not to just remember them by rote by saying, oh, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, because that's just like, it's mindless. It's like, what are we connecting it to? Every zodiac sign has an element like earth, air, fire, or water, or it has a modality, which is cardinal, fixed, and mutable. The modalities are something that people don't understand that much. And since I had mentioned the grand cardinal cross that this is being taped under, I think that you have to understand modalities as well as the elements. Okay, but let's just go through the elements first, because that's a more familiar territory. So there's earth, air, fire, and water. Actually, we should go fire, earth, air, and water, because that's how they first show up in the first 4 signs. So starting with Aries, because Aries is the first sign in a natural chart. A natural chart is like, here's a chart, here's 9 o'clock, and Aries would be in the first house, and it goes counterclockwise, because as the sun rises, as the planets move, they move this way. So when we're counting it on it's stationary, we're going counterclockwise. I know it's kind of counterintuitive, but that's okay. We'll just live with it. So we start with Aries, and we're just going to talk about the element. We're not going to talk about, you know, what it's ruled by, and, you know, we're just talking about what's fire, what's earth, what's air, what's water. Just like get those out of the way. So there's 3 fire signs, 3 earth signs, 3 air signs, and 3 water signs. Okay, let's make 12. So there's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius for the fire signs. For the earth signs, there's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And for the water signs, there's Cancer, there's Scorpio, and there's Pisces. And for the air signs, there's Gemini, there's Libra, and Aquarius. Okay? So that's 3 signs in 4 elements. Makes 12. Okay. Going to the modalities. Now, the way to remember modalities is to remember that Western astrology is what they call tropical zodiac, which means we use the earth, we use the first day of spring as the beginning of the astrological year. It's earth-based, not star-based, you know, so we don't have no Ophiuchus, nothing. That's all star-based nonsense they were trying to get us confused by. So each season is broken up into 3 parts, right? So we have the beginning of a season, we have the middle of the season, and we have this part of the seasons that's fitting to change. Okay? The beginning of the seasons, like the beginning of spring, the beginning of summer, the beginning of fall, and the beginning of winter, those are cardinals. Okay? Like right now, we're at the beginning of summer. And this is like, we're in the grand cardinal cross, because there's things in all the cardinal signs. And what are the cardinal signs? We have Cancer. We have Aries first, Cancer, then Libra, and then Capricorn. Those are the 4 cardinal, and they all start something, because they're the start of all the seasons. They all start something. Now the fixed signs are in the middle of the seasons. They're just like, oh, they didn't start nothing. They're not fitting to change anything, so they're fixed. And the 4 fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. They're fixed, which means they can be kind of stubborn. You know, they got a lot of shoulds going on in their head. Okay, so then when the seasons are fitting to change, those are mutables, and the mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Now, the trick with the modalities, like the cardinal square, or the fixed square or the mutable square. It's like it's having ma, pa, brother and sister all at the dinner table, all fighting with each other. They're related, but they can have a tendency to get on each other's nerves because they all want to do their own thing. They all have their own agenda. Now, higher evolved, you can get as much benefit from the square aspects, of being 90 degrees apart. You can get as much benefit from that, it's just as you can from a trine where it's like earth to earth, water to water. But it's just not comfortable and you have to work at it, okay? Now, when we're dealing with elements, like earth to earth, water to water, air to air, if you have planets in signs that have the same element, it's easy. Like you got a natural talent. You can sing on key. You have natural math abilities. Things are easy. But too many of them make you lazy. I mean, there are like all sorts of stories of people in jail that have like a ton of trines in their chart, and you go, why? You had this good luck. One time that they had to actually work for something, they go, my luck will hold me. Then they get busted. Okay? So squares are not bad. They're just work. They just have to work at things. Trines are not necessarily good because they can make you lazy. We'll talk about aspects another time. But if you break down the zodiac into 3 signs and 4 elements, or 4 signs in 3 modalities, it may be a little easier for you to get a handle on. Now, in another video, we'll talk about I'll talk about it, so I'm talking to myself. It's like 3:54 in the morning. Each zodiac sign has a planet that rules it, and then we'll talk about other parts. But this is just breaking it down for the signs right now, and then we'll get other parts of it put together, and so we'll be able to have it in like little bite-sized pieces. Like, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. That's the answer. And all my African friends laugh like crazy when I say that.